So you're new to Genshin, you've been doing some 10 pulls on the current weapon banner. While you don't get a 5-star, you do get 4-star Black Sword. Now, of course, this is a joke. Black Sword is one of the Battle Pass weapons that you get upon reaching level 30. And in this video, we are going to look at this weapon, what it does and who it can be good for. So we're going to look at its stats. It does get up crit rate. This is at level 70 and it has a 22.7%. Its passive increases damage of normal attacks and charge attacks by 20%, as well as regenerating 60% of your attack on the character in HP whenever a normal or charge attack hits an opponent and it crits. It has to crit to get that health regeneration. And it can occur every 5 seconds. So we are going to put this weapon on the always wonderful Keqing for our example to show this weapon in action. But first we're going to show the Battle Pass and how to get this weapon. So the Battle Pass does have a paid option called the Gnostic Hymn. If you purchase that Gnostic Hymn, whenever you get to level 30, you get to pick a weapon. The Black Sword is one of these weapons, and unfortunately it is the only way to get this weapon. I wish you could get this weapon in a different way, because it's actually good on quite a few on-field damage dealers. So we're going to go into this domain and we're going to use Keqing with the Black Sword on her. This is going to be a quick bloom team, so you're going to be seeing some aggravate, some spread, and some hyper blooms going around. With this, you're also going to notice that down below, if you look at her HP bar, you're going to see it going up whenever she crits once every 5 seconds, right? That's from that passive. Now, because Keqing is a character that uses her normal and charge attacks a lot, she is going to be able to appreciate this weapon, especially this passive. She'll be able to use all of it. She'll be able to get that increased damage on her normal and charge attacks, as well as that HP gain won't be a bad thing. It'll actually be a good thing for her. Running her with Furina doesn't really matter. Having a healer like Jean in there is going to be fine, but if you aren't necessarily running her with a good healer, like I believe I'm going to try and run her with Kirara, then this could be a very, very good option to throw on her, so that way she can heal herself back up, whereas your other characters are mainly going to be off-field, right? So this is going to be good for keeping HP high for your on-field character if you're not running a really good off-field healer or a shielder. When I do run Keqing, though, I'm going to have Mist Splitter on her, because Mist Splitter is Keqing's signature weapon, and nobody can tell me different. So while that is going on behind me, I do want to say that if you enjoy my videos, please look to follow me on TikTok, subscribe on YouTube. I'm so close to those monetization levels. I'm about to be upping the video quantity and quality. I'm going to be doing some much longer videos. I'm going to start doing multiple guides on characters on the banners and weapons and all of that kind of stuff. So having those extra little numbers in there would help. I greatly appreciate it. Now that we have shown this weapon in action, let's go look at some characters. Of course, we have Keqing. Keqing is going to love the crit rate because she gets crit damage whenever she ascends, and it will allow you to invest more into crit damage with your artifacts. So this can be a very good weapon. Keqing uses her normal and charge attacks a lot, and like we were talking about, having that extra health regeneration isn't going to hurt. It's actually going to be pretty nice for her. Next, we're going to look at 3 characters that I don't have, so unfortunately I cannot show them using this weapon. And with those characters, you're going to notice a pattern that they're going to be very similar to Keqing. First off, we have Alhaitham. Now, Alhaitham, also known as the Dendro Keqing, is going to be on field doing damage with his normal and his charge attacks a lot. He's going to appreciate the crit rate. He'll be able to use this passive fully, especially in like a quicken aggravate team, or even as like an on-field Dendro driver for a hyper bloom team. Because spread and aggravate can crit, they're going to very much appreciate this crit rate. Next, we're going to have the brother and sister of Inazuma. We have Ayaka, also known as Cryo Keqing. Ayaka is going to really like this, especially in like a freeze team, where she's going to really want that crit rate, where you're going to be freezing your enemies, you're going to be using your normal attacks and her charge attacks to deal damage to enemies. She's going to greatly appreciate the crit rate, as well as having a little bit of healing, just because it might make it to where you can run a shielder and never have to really run a healer, because you're going to have Ayaka on field a lot. Finally, we have the other Inazuma sibling, Ayato, also known as Hydro Keqing. So just like his sister, just like Dendro Keqing, and just like regular Keqing, he is going to appreciate the crit rate. He's going to be using his normal and charge attacks on field a lot. I actually want to get Ayato to run him as an on-field Hydro driver in a Hyper Bloom team, because that's really what like my Hyper Bloom team is missing, and I really want to get Ayato. So I'm going to be pulling for him on his next rerun. And Black Sword is going to be what he is using, or Wolf's Fang, which we'll do a video on that, which is another Battle Pass weapon at a later time. But just like everybody else, he likes the crit rate. He's going to be using his normal attacks. He's going to be using his charge attacks. This is going to be a fairly good option for a Yato. That is going to be it for this video. If you have any questions, do be sure to leave it down in the comments. Myself or somebody else will be sure to answer it, and I'll see you in the next one.